How's it going, friends? On today's video, we are looking at a super interesting neighborhood, city, rural area, if you will. It's called the Pinery, and this place is just absolutely filled with epic homes that, I mean, are like gigantic and have just crazy views. It's like equestrian. If you are looking for a ranch or a home that kind of resembles a ranch, Pinery is a good one. How's it going, my friends? My name is Jesse Lynch, and I work with the hardest working real estate team in the game. We're called Welcome to Denver, and you can check out our website, welcometoddenver.co. But this YouTube channel, it's here for you as a resource. It's all about helping you find the best place for you to land, to live, to ultimately buy a home here in the Denver metro area, the Front Range, and Colorado in general. And that's whether you're buying a house for the first time or relocating here from a different city, state, country, planet, dimension, whatever it is. First time home buyers, relocations, that's what we do, that's what we focus on, that's what we specialize in, that's what we do better than anybody else. So if any of that is appealing to you, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, subscribe to this channel and click the bell so you can get notified when we put all these videos out. And if you wouldn't mind, give the video a thumbs up, say something helpful or funny or curious, I don't know, ask a question in the comments. I'd appreciate that. And as always, if you are thinking about moving here, get a hold of us. You can go to our website, welcometoddenver.co. We have a contact form there that you can fill out in like 30 seconds or less, or you can just shoot us an email directly to info@welcometoddenver.co. They lead to the same spot. So totally up to you how you want to do it. And then we'll, get the show on the road, get you moving to Denver, get you buying a house here in Denver, or something like that. I said it at the top, but I'm excited for today's video. We're looking at a pretty unique proposition of a neighborhood. It's called the Pinery, and it's just got a lot going for it. This neighborhood in particular is absolutely beautiful. You have huge houses, huge yards. This place, I mean, pretty much everything along here, awesome view of the Rockies. All right, let's go. All right, y'all, right now we are at the Pinery Park. It's a quaint little neighborhood park. There's a baseball field, a fairly modest basketball court, and a playground. But it is situated quite beautifully, up quite high, really nice sort of panoramic views all the way around. Nothing like too epic, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And the Pinery is a very interesting place. It is almost entirely, aside from park spaces or sort of public spaces like this, entirely residential, and it is very much designed as like, hey, you come out here, yeah, but you can have a beautiful house, like truly beautiful homes, and you can also have a really good amount of space. The topography of the Pinery is such that you can also have a really good opportunity for like a really beautiful view. Not every house has like an epic view, but there are several where you at least have like long views, you know what I mean? But I'd be willing to say that most of the houses at least have some sort of like extended view somewhere on the property. So let's dive into the facts about the Pinery. So the Pinery is it's pretty far out, debatably not even really in the metro. I think when I did Parker, I said Parker is the edge of the metro and Pinery is further. So I would say that either I'm wrong when I talked about Parker, or this is pretty rural, but it's rural in a way that folks choose to live here, and a lot of folks are gonna still commute to Denver, right? But beside a little bit of Parker bordering to the north, it's fundamentally just rural sort of township, or it's really the rural parts of like a Castle Pines is the border to the Pinery. So it's again very far out there, and that is potentially sort of the value proposition of the Pinery. You come out here, it is so peaceful. I actually just drove from downtown, and I mean, it's wild how much different it is here. We are 40 minutes to downtown Denver and 40 minutes to the airport. So again, very removed from all that stuff. And in fact, we're only 1 hour from Colorado Springs. So almost right in between. I think Castle Rock is pretty much exactly right in between the two, but it's not too far off here either. The population is only 12,000 people, which for how large of an area it is, it's sparse, right? It's designed to be sparse, and that is what people want when they move here. And the schools here, like a lot of places that are beginning to like be a little bit more rural, they're good, but they're not great. Specifically, you're served by Douglas County School District. That serves the whole, the entirety of the Pinery, and that gets an A-, but the schools within the Pinery are actually slightly lower than that. And this is all according to niche.com. You have Ponderosa High School, that gets a B+. You have Sagewood Middle School, also gets a B+, and then 2 elementary schools, Northeast Elementary and Mountain View Elementary, both of those get a B. And naturally, in classic Denver and Colorado form, there are charter schools, private schools available here as well. So the value proposition is the peacefulness. That's really how I see it, right? And a bit of a sprawl, right? Shoulder room. There's like, you just have, everybody here seems to have a lot of space. I don't know that there's any house with what you would call a small yard. And so it's not dirt cheap, right? Because it's not discounty houses. It's generally pretty new houses, relatively new to the metro. And so median sale price is $900,000. But I almost think that like there's a little bit of like the Colorado dream here, right? Like it's a little bit of, people might move from out of state and be like, this is what I'm looking for. And maybe they're like, it's a little further out than I want. But it does seem like a lot of people, when they first begin going down the road of, I want to move to Colorado, they're thinking, I want space, I want to view the mountains, I want fresh, Rocky Mountain air, and I'm with you, but there are a lot of parts of the Denver metro where it's like, okay, you're not exactly going to have that. You might have to, that still might have to be a little bit of like a weekend vacation or something like that. But here, it's like, I could almost imagine having a cabin here, And again, median sale price, $900,000. That is not particularly cheap. And they range pretty dramatically. You can buy a fairly modest house here in maybe the low 500s, right? And it might need some work. And you can also definitely find an epic house here. And you could easily spend $2.5 million. You know that I always love to include, I just find it interesting. I always like to include the rental to ownership rate. Well, here, 3% of the folks who live in the Pinery rent, 97% own, and it very much feels that way. Right, we're gonna go for a drive, show you around, and you're not gonna see any stores. I'll tell you what, it's gonna be all houses, but hopefully a bit of space, and you'll be able to see like, all right, that stuff is, it's pretty nice here. right, y'all, right now I'm at Lakeside Park. This is a really cute little like neighborhood park with some like trailheads, so you could definitely go on a nice long little walk, hike situation. And the neighborhood here, so the houses here are really nice still, but a bit more modest than some of the spots that we've been so far in this video. One super cool thing is pretty much right here. Can't see them quite yet, I don't think. There's like 4 deer just chilling in somebody's front yard. So it's very much that kind of place. And then right over here, just on the other side of that road, there's a parking lot and like a short trail to Bingham Lake. Just a really nice sort of like lake water feature, reservoir situation here in the Pinery. But anyhow, I'm here to talk pros and cons. And I think, for one, all of the pros, basically all of my pros, or the majority of the pros, are related to the fact that it's removed from the metro pretty dramatically, and each house has a good amount of space. It's like there's just room to breathe. There's shoulder room everywhere here. So pro number one, obviously natural beauty. Like just driving through a neighborhood is impressive. You know, driving through a neighborhood, you get like, you hit sort of peaks and you see a beautiful vista, and you go down and you hit another one, another beautiful vista. So just like a lot of natural beauty. I'm also going to say that you have, you know, a lot of very big homes. Even this is on the more modest side. There's maybe some that are even more modest, but it's still a big house, you know? It's still probably at least 2,000 square feet finished, if not closer to 3. Next pro is that you have the opportunity to find like a truly epic home here. If you're looking for an equestrian ranch, or just like a ranch and or hobby farm, or just something with acreage, you very well may be able to find it here. And there are some stunning examples of that on the market and not on the market. Next pro, it's kind of obvious, you're so removed that it almost feels like a gated community. It's not gated, but it's like, it's gated by nature. It's gated by the fact that it's removed from everything else. There's not going to be any through traffic in the Pinery, because why would there be? Like, where would anybody be going that they'd be like driving through the Pinery, other than people like me making videos in the area? And so you have these peaceful streets, these quiet streets. It's like a tight community feel. It seems like everybody knows each other, or it also seems like nobody knows who I am. So take that as you will. And then last pro is that schools are pretty good, right? I would say acceptable for most people, the schools. But I'm gonna throw that in the first con also, is that for how expensive it is, like $900,000 median, I would think that the schools would be rated higher. But again, it's a balance of like, sure, the schools are good, not tremendous, but you have a lot of house, you have a lot of yard, so the median is going to be brought up. That said, the affordability factor, it can get a little bit more affordable, right? Maybe closer to 6, you might be able to find something in the Pinery. But all in all, it just seems like the schools ought to be rated a little bit higher for how much it costs. Next con, it is far from Denver. It is far from the airport. 45 minutes. If you have to commute to Denver, or if you travel a lot, that will be an annoying trip. Then I don't even know if an Uber would come here to, you know, take you to the airport if that's something you were trying to do. And when it's 45 minutes, people from like California, take note. I don't mean, it's not an LA 45 minutes. It's not a, you know, what, I don't even know, 7 miles, 10 mile, 45 minutes. It's a long distance. So if you're driving, you're putting a lot of miles on your vehicle. Now they're arguably better because they're highway miles, but nonetheless, that number is going to get racked up a lot quicker. And then lastly, I think I already mentioned this, but you're not just far from the airport and far from Denver, but you are inconvenient to almost anything errand related, right? Thank God for Amazon or delivery in general. But yeah, it's like it's not even a grocery store. There's not even a convenience store. I don't even think there's a gas station within the Pinery. So pretty much everything you do, you're going to Parker or you're going to Castle Rock for any of that kind of stuff. But, you know, again, some people are like, perfect. That's exactly what I want. I don't want to have, ugly commercial stuff anywhere near my home. Okay, cool. Then may I recommend the Pinery. But all right, I'm gonna head somewhere else, and then we're gonna talk through some other options that if you're like, I like what you're saying with the Pinery, here are maybe some other options that might be up your alley. All right, right now I'm at Pocket Park, which is a cute little neighborhood park. It's nothing like too crazy, right? It's just like a playground, basketball court. But there's also this path that runs along the creek, crosses the road, and continues on all the way to Bayou Gulch, which technically is not, it's like a regional park, sorry. Bayou Gulch Regional Park. It's technically not in the Pinery. Otherwise I would have shot there. Maybe I should have anyway, but I don't know. I have like a rule where it's like, it's gotta be within the boundaries. And it's interesting, if you watch these videos, you might know that I like try to shoot in a fairly diverse sort of section of a place, right? This might be a little bit of like how the sausage is made, but I try to shoot in a park or in like a green space. I try to shoot in a neighborhood or a couple neighborhoods. I try to shoot in a commercial space to sort of show what's going on. But I've almost shot entirely in parks. I guess other than I think a cul-de-sac, because the houses are so far apart that it seems ridiculous to walk in a neighborhood. Like I could basically show you 3 houses as I'm walking, whereas the B-roll is going to show you that. But enough of that, enough behind the scenes. If you watch these videos, you should know that we have a section that we'd like to call For Fans Of, which is to say, if you like this spot, check out this spot, right? If you like Zeppelin, check out Sabbath. You know what I mean? It's basically that idea. But before I dive into that for the Pinery, I'd just like to say that if you are thinking about moving here, get a hold of us. We'd love to be the ones to help you navigate that process. You can go to our website, welcometodenver.co. We have a contact form that you can fill out in like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, or you can shoot us an email directly to info@welcometodenver.co. It'll lead to the same inbox, so totally up to you how you do it. We just ask that you do look forward to, getting the show on the road, ultimately getting you a home, finding you a place to land here in Denver. Also in classic Denver, Colorado form, it's windy all of a sudden. So let's dive in. What are some spots that you might want to consider if you are like intrigued by the Pinery, right? Again, it's a fairly unique proposition of a place. And these first 3 are just fairly close geographically, but also have a lot of similarities, right? The topography might be similar, your amount of conveniences, or rather here, the lack of, the conveniences you are going to might be the same. And that's Parker's just to the north of here. It's basically the neighbor. A much more suburban lifestyle, less rural, And the next is Castle Rock, right? Castle Rock is kind of to the southwest of here. And again, more suburban. But my battery died, so I'm gonna use my phone, and honestly, it's so windy. So I'm just gonna try to take cover if I can and try to find some lighting that doesn't look horrendous. All right, then a couple spots to consider would be Castle Pines, right? Not Castle Rock, Castle Pines. Castle Pines is really a beautiful area indeed. I feel like it was a fairly early on video that I did on this channel for somebody who was trying to decide between Boulder and Castle Pines. Anyhow, and then the other 2 are much closer into the city, but it's like if you are looking for that epic equestrian home and you like the idea of being closer to the city, there are 2 spots that come to mind like right away, which would be Greenwood Village, which is sort of by Littleton. It's a beautiful spot for sure, very equestrian and a lot of that stuff going on. And then the other is Cherry Hills Village, which Cherry Hills Village, way more expensive, right? Like I think it's one of the most expensive zip codes in the country. If that's sort of like where you're looking, then you probably have heard of it. But I think the thing that it has in common the most with the Pinery is that there's fundamentally like 0 commercial space whatsoever. So if that's something you're trying trying to avoid, right? If you're trying to make it this very calm, removed sort of vibe where it's like, you know, you're not really driving by a gas station or anything on the way home. If that's the vibe you're going for, you're looking for something that feels almost rural, but there it's not really. It's pretty dang close to the city. Then I would definitely check those out. Again, here you're just so far away, but it is undeniably beautiful. This wind is driving me absolutely insane. So I'm gonna let y'all go. As always, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get notified if you have not done so yet, so you can check out more of these videos. And I swear, I prepare. My battery was fully charged, but I had to shoot a whole section twice because it got corrupted. So annoying. All right, y'all. See you in the next video. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.